Let's leave the past behind. Walk with me.
Tecopa, California includes 5,080 nearby mine claims. Chris Adams is the new owner of 4 of these mines: the Columbia, the War Eagle, the Noonday, and the Grant. His goal is to protect and preserve these mines. We left our home in Pahrump and made the hour drive to Tacopa, where we headed down a dirt road and turned left at the concrete vault ruin on Furnace Creek Road and headed up to where we would meet Chris for our tour of one of his mines.
Me and you.
Yeah, I'm Chris Adams here at Tecopa Mines. Said we've got 4 mines out here in this district. We've got the War Eagle over there. The Grant mine is just above it on this side. This side of the Grant mine, we've got the Noonday, and those 3 all connect underground for 14 different levels and 15 miles of tunnels. And we're standing in the Columbia number 2 site right here, which I'll give you a brief walk around and show you some of this.
I didn't notice that you had 3 legs.
I don't think she knows either.
How old? I mean, how long has it been since they actually used the mines?
1957.
1957?
Right. I don't think Columbia reopened or stayed open much after World War II. They kept War Eagle running over there. I do have a date on a piece of concrete over here that used to hold part of the hoisting works of 1941. And because of the fire damage, the whole bottom is loose gravel and scree, making it very difficult to climb back out. It's like climbing a sand hill,
Yeah.
2 steps forward, 1.5 steps back. But I am going to be installing a ladder down here.
Does it go straight down or is it at an angle?
It goes in this angle.
At this angle.
I don't know how far it gets. I believe there's at least a significant blockage further down, but I've heard it's completely passable.
But you said you had to rappel to get in there?
Yeah. Hooked ropes went down here. 165 foot down, there's a station with track that goes both ways. Because it's elevated above the shaft itself, I couldn't get up into that. I believe it goes to the other shaft over there and over towards this problem pit over here, which I've got to get fenced off probably this week. I got the T-rails for it.
Down the road, there's sunshine and light. Say you'll go, don't make me wait.
An ore bin, and below that was a 2-track tramway. They used to bring the ore out of that bin down to the railroad which ran down here. There was a spur off the Pahrump Tacopa Railroad that came here. Steam engines used to come up there, take the ore cars, bring them back out. The Noonday was the oldest of the mines out here. It originally opened around 1870. The mines ran for 3 different periods of time, 1870 through about the turn of the century. Then they were just undercapitalized. They kind of closed. Got everybody knew it was good stuff here, so a little while later the Tecopa Mining Company formed. They came back, operated it with a lot more capital, ran it real nicely through World War I, especially with the demand for lead. And they closed down in the Depression like much of the rest of the country, reopening a little before World War II by the Anaconda Copper Company. They ran through 1957 until the U.S. announced its strategic lead reserve was filled. The lead price crashed and this and other lead mines closed. But this was the largest mine of its type in the Southwest at the time. You'll see a lot of little bitty prospect holes and smaller mines around the area, but this one was the real deal.
Where do all the miners live?
There was a little town down here where you came in. You would have come across, there were 2 different camps down there, one for single miners and one for married miners and their wives. And once Anaconda closed up everything, the locals, this being the desert, and they came out and stripped everything down to the foundation and took everything away.
Yeah.
The only thing left is that one building, that concrete structure you turned at, which was the old Paymaster's vault.
Okay, I can take pictures in here, right? Because
you sure can. Yeah, I've got volunteers from a caving club coming out in October, and I'm going to have them clean this out. Yeah. I want to get my mom back in here.
I understand why I have my bike helmet on.
Here where they probably stored explosives or other miners' gear. We were in here with the other Sarah, wandering gypsy, and all through it she talked about she believes there's ghosts in this mine, ghosts in the mine, ghosts in the mine. Well, on the way back out, the girls are lollygagging back here. I ducked back in here to switch my light off. They walk right on past me. So I come up behind them, and as we get ready to the pile there, I come up behind the other Sarah. I got you! And you could hear her scream down in Tecopa.
I bet you wonder how she played it up big.
Well, that didn't make the video, unfortunately, because her camera's already off. We all wished it had. Some of the timbering you have over here, this is a good example to see it up close in person how they did this back in the day. There's no nails or bolts going into the rock in any way, shape, or form. It's all just put in place, hammered in with a header or a footer board down here, and then shimmed until it's rock tight. And it's all friction fit, and that's how it stays. And if they wanted to hang a jacket or something, you know, you drive a nail in, you got a coat hook.
Yep.
Or a lantern hook, or whatever else you got.
You know, I'm my own worst enemy with this headlamp on.
Why?
Because all I get is a shadow of my phone.
You got to bring the phone closer to your chest.
Yeah.
I'm learning the same thing, so. All these mines, all the equipment back in here would have been running compressed air. So you'll usually see two pipes in the mine. One's a compressed air pipe and one's a water pipe.
Okay.
Because they found out that the drills and stuff running in compressed air kicked up an awful lot of dust, which tended to kill the miners. They breathe that in, they get something called silicosis, and they die.
Yep.
So somebody finally figured out that if you run water through the drill bit, it keeps the dust down, and it also makes the drill bits last longer, which probably sold the companies on that better.
Here's some tracks.
Yep, we got a little track starting here, some more timbering, and some nice areas off to the side here. You can look down at some of the stoping below. This one here is a drift, or actually it's a tunnel because it goes all the way through. The work areas are called stopes, where they wanted to remove the ore. That goes hella far down.
Have you been in there?
Not yet. There is levels below which I have not made it to yet, other than just a little bit. And there's some collapse off the main shaft, makes it harder. See a couple of the old ore chute there, and you can see a couple of big rocks that have come down from above. They're just kind of sitting up there in the woodwork. And again, you know, there's no trees out here. All this wood had to be brought in on the railroad. This would have been one of the chutes from above, where the ore would have been dumped into the chute, and then a block would have been removed. The ore would have fallen into a car here, and then moved out that way.
Oh, the tracks right here.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Did you get there a picture of them?
I did.
You'll see better track in a minute. That's if you want to step down here, show you another view down the stopes, which is actually kind of nice. See here's some quartz up here. There would have been some mineral up here. They were probably chasing this quartz vein here for a little bit.
And what do they find in the quartz vein?
Well, usually close to the quartz is where you find your minerals, like your silvers, your leads, your gold. It's here, which.
Okay.
So if you take a look down here, you can see some of the timber forest down there.
Oh, that goes way down.
Oh yeah, hundreds of feet. And the way mining was done was you always wanted to work up. So this would have been, they would have gone down below this, had another drift below us about 100 feet down, and they would have come up from there. And then gravity brings your rock down, and the rock always goes down into the cars, down into the ore chutes, and finally it's brought up the shaft by power. So everything is done working up, if you can. So this was all done. This for all intents and purposes is the 200-foot level tunnel. So there's, again, 5 below this. They would have been down on the 300 below there, working their way up. This would have been a paying vein right here.
Right here, that brown area.
Yeah, that's what they were chasing here. They left this part here so as not to collapse the ceiling on it. So I think that center part might be the zinc or the lead that they were looking for. pretty well defined, but I'm not a geologist, unfortunately. I'm still learning that part. You can't even see from the other side, but it's
trying to hold the rocks up.
seems
So,
to be working.
that's part of the chute right over there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't go straight, but as long as you remember, just keep the downhill on your left, the uphill on the right. You're going further back in, and you turn that around, you're going back out.
Where does this go?
Back out.
Back
You
out.
just came through there.
Okay. I would get lost in here so easy.
It's quite possible. I won't say I haven't done it myself, because I have. I did it with Wonder Hussy, and she had a lot of fun with that. Another ore chute unit. Every time you see these, it's an indicator that there's more workings above, because all this ore is getting dumped in here from 100 feet up there.
Wow.
This is some calcite leaching down through the rock over the decades. Wonder Hussy actually did taste it, which I'm grateful for, because I wasn't gonna, and I wondered what it tasted like.
So what did it taste like? What'd she
Very
say?
horrible. No, she's a cute kid. In fact, we were having Easter drinks yesterday, and now she's on over to Seattle in a couple of days with
Yeah.
her sister. There's chute going up.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
these
so-
so they used to have tracks all on this
Yeah.
probably.
And you can see the amount of wood put into these kind of chutes over here. You're not getting wood like that today.
Nope.
And you can also see right above you there where some of this is starting to come down.
Yep.
So. A lot of the markings in here like this that are black were done with miners' carbide lamps.
Okay.
Here you can actually see a face here where it was part of a, what do you call that, fault, where you get the different rock stratas and it's all smooth there and it's all just broken away from there.
Yeah.
You'll see that throughout the mine, in this one and a lot more you'll too. And because this particular driftwood here is open on both sides, we've got very good ventilation coming through it.
Yeah, I can feel it.
Yeah, that's real handy. It keeps a constant temperature of 70 degrees year-round.
Nice.
Very nice.
Wow.
It gets better the more we go in.
Goes way up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a big stoked area here below us, so they actually put a rail in here, which is kind of thoughtful of them. One of the chutes used to bring
Whoa.
ore down to the next level.
So
they just sort
how
of
far
dump
down would the next level be?
100 feet.
Down at the bottom
Yeah.
of there?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So the ore would have been dumped down here, guided by those rock walls, all the way down and into the cars waiting down there. In fact, what you have is one of these down at the bottom.
Okay.
And you can see up above, some more of that nice vein there liking it.
So have you found the entrance at the bottom?
I have not been down to those levels yet.
Okay. Because there's got to be a place to come in from the outside down there.
There's a couple shafts that go down there. I'm going to need a little more technical assistance to get into those, but it's coming. We're going to be mapping that. We're going to be laddering that. Here's another one of those chutes coming down.
Oh, wow. Goes way up there.
Oh, yeah. So there's at least 4 small levels above this that I'm aware of. And one I'm chasing right now actually has some of the old period equipment still in, including an ore car that has the wheels on, which is real nice. All this stuff brought in here by critters. Pack rats or a mine cat.
What's a mine cat?
There's a name for them, I forget what you call them, but it's a small little, you can see all the
It's about as big as a
rat
house
stuff
cat?
here. Yeah, that's,
Yeah. And they live out here in the desert in the
Yep.
holes.
they stay in the holes. You usually see them close to the entrances. Now,
Interesting.
what we have over here,
I've never heard of mine cats before. It goes way up there.
I want you to watch your step on this stuff over here. We have a false floor above an open pit.
It's only 2,000 feet down?
Nah, not that far, but far enough to hurt. If you actually step that side here, I'm going to show you a shaft over here.
Okay.
So I promise I'll show you. Every board but that one's pretty good. It's loose. It's solid stuff, but I gotta nail those down a little better.
Yeah, they look like they're
solid.
solid boards. Except that one.
Yeah, just like step over the that middle one doesn't pop up.
I don't like this.
Yeah, just stick on the big ones there and then step over. There you go, right where you get your foot.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
I'm not a happy camper right here.
They're not.
Well, yeah, stay on the big fat boards over there. You're not on the big fat boards, but those ones.
Where to?
Step over the, see you've got cross beams there, just step on those. And step on the thick wood.
I don't know.
You got this one here, or that one over there. I mean, even this is not going to drop this. That board right in front of here, that's, yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay. No. That's all about your comfort. You don't do anything you don't want to in here. So, this is the shaft that they would have used for the haulage for both this mine and the Grant mine.
This looks like a really big chute.
Yeah, this would have been tracked at one time. It's 200 feet to the surface. If you go down there, you can see daylight, I think.
You looking up?
Yeah. If you go down and look, you can see daylight up there. I've climbed it. It's without a ladder. It's a workout, but it's pretty easy. And down below it goes down to the lower levels. So we're going to start descending that too. Once I get these gated properly, I'm going to start laddering this in both directions. But I don't want to put ladders in until we keep people out, because I don't want to make it easier for people to get to the more dangerous areas. Yeah, that's the only edgy one right there, is that one board. And I'll have one of my salvage crews when we have one of our work weekends, find some better wood to fit that and replace that.
Oops.
Yeah, don't step between them. It does go down probably 40 to 60 feet, and there's a small connection with the shaft, but otherwise, I think they were just chasing a nice pocket of ore there, and it just kind of happened to be. So that's how you hung stuff in these, and you'll see them all through the mine. Most of these were used quite heavily back in the day. So
What do they use them for?
hauling pretty much everything in. I mean, before they were like, the idea of cardboard and plastic, it was either wood crates, burlap sacks.
Wow. Way up here too.
Up. Yep. Big, beautiful, thick boards. These I believe were again repurposed railroad spikes, because we've got rail gauge spike in them, and so I suspect at times when they needed more timbering, especially after they pulled up the railroad, they probably went down and just took the ties up and brought some of those in here. I found some of the upper levels that are still creosote covered, and that wouldn't have did. They wouldn't have creosote covered mine timbers, but they sure would have railroad ties. So you'll see some of the ties here in the floor.
Oh yeah, right there. Yep.
Here's another fault.
Well, this has been here quite a while, so
Oh yeah.
probably not going to cave in while we're in here.
The odds of it coming down in this in the next half hour are
That'd be
pretty
a
slim.
pretty big earthquake.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one.
That's just like a face up from here, or they were just chasing some more up there.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of these over here where they backfilled them, where they would have gone in, hit nothing, and then taking waste rock out is expensive and time consuming, so they just throw it into these old dead ends.
Makes sense.
Sure. It costs as much to haul waste rock out as it does ore, and you don't get paid for it. Here's one of the holes they would have drilled to put the dynamite in. You didn't get a complete explosion here. Ideally, that would have blown this whole section here down too. So what they did was they drilled one hole in the center, then they drill holes around that, and then around that, and around that in a pattern, and they'd fire them off inside to outside. And with the empty hole in the middle, the blast would direct the damage that way, and it would blow all the rock down and give you a big pile down here. And that again, there's one where the charge didn't fire all the way, so that's That's why the tunnel is shaped like this. That should have gone off and took this whole big chunk here out, and it did not. It's not worth. Wasn't worth refiring, of course. So.
So did they use air tools in here? Probably, you know,
the air drills would have come in here during the second phase. Those really came into production and the use in the mines a little before World War I, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The 19 teens. First, they were just a great thing to have, but then they realized that a drill that could do. You used to have a 3-man drilling team, one guy holding the drill steel and turning it, and 2 guys hitting it with hammers at 120 beats a minute. And every time one hits it, the guy holding it's got to turn in a quarter of a turn.
Yeah.
And if he wants them to stop, since they can't hear, because then he puts his hand over the ends and hopes they're paying attention. So you'd have these 3-man teams coming in doing that stuff. Then they invented the drills. And first, the drills were big enough that it still took a full team to handle it. But as the drills got smaller and lighter, it became a 1-man drill. And they realized that just replaced half the work shift in the mine and put half the people out of work. They weren't terribly welcome. Most of the strikes back in the 19 teens across the country were related to that 1-man drill coming in. It literally let the mine cut its labor force in half. And back in the day, these guys usually come in, they work 10, 12 hours a day. Your work day starts when you get to your work site, not when you get outside, but when you get to your work face.
So you think this was original? Is this made by the...
That one, not really, yeah, no, it's marked to the 100 level up there. I think it was at least done with, looks like paint, but like this here, that's carbide mine lamp right there.
Oh, okay. Clyde.
Yeah, so now in my book, whoever marked that to the 100-foot level did so for a reason. So sounds to me I need to go up there and see what's up there. I've been up on those levels a little bit the last couple of weeks. And the nice thing about the way the mine is laid out is you can get into a couple more holes up on the hillside. And it's a real rabbit warren up there. But all you got to do is just start sliding downhill. And eventually you're going to hit this tunnel. You can't miss it, so
Yeah.
there's no way of getting lost up there. It just feels like it.
Oh, for sure.
And more blast holes here. And in some areas like that, they would have left natural rock pillars up there for support, like that one right there.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
You can see that nice mineral vein up on and behind it, even some of the pillar.
Yeah.
A lot of times in the mines, when they were leaving, they'd knock those last pillars out to get that mineral, and that's where you'd have subsequent collapse. The coal fields were especially known for that because you're doing block and pillar, room and pillar underground. But yeah, this another section that goes back in there. We won't go into because I'm still exploring that area back there. That's why I put these timbers here to remind myself to keep out of there on the way back out. That's where I got one dress we lost. Those little marks you see
In
there,
here?
huh?
In here?
Yeah, it just goes back into dead ends, but
Yeah.
then you got to figure out where did I make the wrong turn? But
Yeah, how do you keep...
you got to memorize the place.
how do you keep your
See those
bearings?
little dots on the wall there?
Yeah.
A miner would have made that with his carbide lamp to mark like every carload that came down that chute.
Okay.
You know, you put a mark in there to keep track of it.
Oh, up on the...
Right,
Yeah.
right here.
And when you got the timber filled, you move on to another timber and sand them off. Or that's all, you know. A lot
Looks
of
like they got 20 some out of there. 4 times 7, 28.
Yeah, that's
27.
Yeah. You know, all coming down from above us.
Yeah.
And a little timber forest up here. So, but you got people had to go up there and work in these crawl spaces on this angle and that. I mean, just imagine working in that little. That's not even 3 feet high. No thanks.
So they mainly used dynamite and blasted that whore out? Or did they go in there with like a pick and a hammer?
In the old days, they would have done that. Here, they probably would have fired blasting, or it depends. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't give you the definitive, but I mean, some of this again is I think you get some natural faulting here, so they're probably chasing that, and probably came down pretty easy with pick if it was on the top side of a fault there.
You would think there would be some descendants
What's that?
of the miners, some descendants, maybe 2 generations or 3
Yeah, everything over here is
removed,
gone now.
but they would pass on the stories, you know?
I'm trying to find these people. There's a few kids of the miners still down in town.
Uh-huh.
Now, here again is a wall made out of waste rock called gobbing. You'll see that in a lot of areas where they make the wall and then they throw the other waste rock in here behind just to get it out of the way. And that probably goes, I can't tell how far that, I haven't been back up in there yet. Some of these go up, some of them are just, they were chasing some ore. And there's a vein of it back there, so they probably just chased that till it exhausted back there. And then built the rock pile here, and then you threw all this crap in behind it just to get it out of the way. Little collapse here, so I'll just scooch past that. Came down from above. One of those ore chutes that somebody removed or gave away. I can't tell people. No remedials or safety inspections since 1957. You will see some of this again, graffiti done on all of these through here by somebody with a carbide lamp. And if you turn around this one behind you, you'll see this a couple times too. IWW. That's International Workers of the World, the old Wobblies Union. That was that extremely socialist union that finally fell out of favor and got shut down rather forcibly by the government around World War I. Another dead end back there, but see, swap me on my fly, soak me on a sponge. A date here of 9/28/42.
This one's metal right here.
Yep. There would have been more metal in there, but I think the scrappers got most of it.
So where's that go?
I don't know yet. You know, let's add to our sum total then. I'll just go find out. Now we're explorers.
Now we're getting lost.
Well, we know these workings over here on our right. We just got to turn around, turn on our left, and keep on our right to come back out. It's probably going to face out not too far back in, like this. Yeah, we got to face out.
Keeps getting narrower and narrower. Does it go around the corner?
Nope. Yeah, that's a face out.
That's it. Yeah,
So
okay.
most of these go.
Coming back out here.
Yeah.
Just dead ends.
Like I said, there's so many of them. I've only owned the mine since December, so I haven't been in most of these yet like that. I learned my way to where I want to get, and get the sum total afterwards. And you got some rail there, which is kind of interesting. There's this may go a little nuts. You have to face out. And President Harding. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, come on up here for a second.
Where's President Harding? Oh, right there.
President Harding, no good. I have not seen that before. That's awesome. I must photograph that. Political commentary standing the test of time. You get that?
I got it. Yep.
Duck under
It's right.
here.
It's right there. Yeah.
That's a whole other work section. In a brief second.
See, President Harding. No good. Political commentary.
Philippians 1:2-6 back in here. Yeah, if you want to come this way, we'll try going this way. And we're either gonna connect up with where I plan to take you anyway, or we're gonna have a little longer walk back.
It's okay.
Yeah, I'll figure you out. We're not going that way. I don't know what's.
You don't know what's down here?
I don't know what's down
This
here.
looks like a pretty main thing.
This way is. I want to at least stay kind of on the track close to where I want to take you.
Sure. Oh, we'll stay with you, don't worry.
It makes. If I learn it piece by piece, I'm not, wandering off into the cornfields. Duck your head. Here's some more graffiti. April 24th, 1923.
This one says duck your head.
Yeah. So that's pretty nice. 1923. Burned in there by the carbide lamp of somebody whose grandkids are probably dead of old age by now.
I used to have one of those little carbide lamps. Okay.
Wow, what happened?
And during the war, these guys would have been considered essential employees and not allowed to leave to enlist or even quit to go work anywhere else. So, another chute back there. I can follow that one again. Let's see. The dead end is out. You can still see the chute back here.
Part of an old bag.
Yeah, I thought there was a connecting tunnel coming from around the other side, so I walked up that tunnel thinking I was going to hit this and didn't.
This looks like a dead end here.
Yeah.
We can.
Okay.
We're not far from being on the outside, so.
So we get on the outside, we walked all the way through the mountain?
We will. Now we're going to come back.
Okay.
I'll show you a few more things on the way through, and we'll bypass on the way back, so it'll be shorter. You hardly believe this was actually a main train line that they would have run ore from two mines through. But here's where the track picks up again.
Yep.
Footprints, mine. Tecopa. Again, done with a carbide lamp. So. Wait for Sherry there. You doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Just a reminder, you are in control here, so anytime it's too much, let me know. Now we come into the interesting part. And here's another reason we don't go exploring mines on our own. Watch that first step.
I'm not going. My problem is edges, not height.
Oh, I get you. That goes down to somewhere on the lower level, and you can see you got some more rock markings here.
It keeps going in back there too. The track keeps
Yeah,
going.
that's the one I thought that went to that other ore chute, and it doesn't. It just takes you back in there and dead ends.
Dead ends, yeah.
But you can see they kept track of cars going down right there behind you.
Oh, yeah. Oh, one of these spots where they burned all the docks.
Yeah. And of course, somebody had to crane over it. But. And now we got track for a while, which is kind of nice.
What did they do here?
What's that?
Did they have a track in the middle?
There would have been a switch there.
Yeah, switch. Yeah. Yep.
And the switches are usually the first things to go. They're either taken by the companies because they're needed somewhere else, or the collectors get them. There are very few switches still left, and none of the functional switching gear. There's one rumored on the lower level of the Columbia. I haven't seen it yet. But they were still stealing some of this track out of the mines as recently as January.
Oh, really?
But I came back I was here in December. They came back in February. There was some gone out of the West Eagle, West State that I know had been there before. Boil me.
I'm an egg.
Grind me on a valve. Roll me on a boat. Will there be more on the other side? We'll see on the way out.
Here's one of these things sticking in the.
For the lights or the ventilation.
So that's the worst thing, is just seeing, stuff that I know has been here for over 70 years disappearing in the last few months.
Yeah.
It's almost like people know I'm out here now and they're trying to get what they can before I secure it.
Yeah.
I haven't caught anybody doing it yet, but they're not morons. Nice squared off because of the faulting here. Now we come into the bigger work area down here in this level. Which way do they go? Which way do they go? We go all the way because they all connect. More IWW markings.
Yeah.
Africa Slim, I've seen his name in here a couple of times. One of the old miners. I think he was from South Africa. Yeah, I just came down this chute up above here a few days ago when I was up in the upper levels. Slid down from...
Have you gone in all from the
Down
top?
right there.
From up there, yeah.
Have you gone in from the top?
Yeah, well, not the far top, but the level above this. I'll show you where when we go outside.
Wow. There's a whole bunch of, you got a lot of ore from in here. Lots
Come on,
of,
we'll hit that on the way back.
lots of dots.
More dots.
Yep.
We're going to see that on the way back.
Okay.
Oh,
If you can feel the air breezing right here, we're
Yeah, I feel good.
really not far from one of the exits. We got more marking here, the Old Ireland Free. Find some of the Irish miners in here. Of course, they misspelled Ireland, but hey, you can't. There's a little shamrock up there, and there's some other Celtic markings burned into the wood here.
Oh, that's a neat in here.
Yeah, I mean, I like it.
here.
This is an area I plan to try to do something with.
Hello.
Hello.
And here we have a shaft that begins here and descends about 600 feet down. And then at the bottom it goes into a stoped out area. From there it drops down another raise, another 100 feet into the War Eagle's haulage. So this is
The what? Oh, the War
the War
Eagle.
Eagle mine. It drops into the War Eagle about 2.5 miles back in.
So have you been down there?
I have.
All the way to the War Eagle.
Yep, we climbed all the way down here. This first section ain't bad. That didn't get steeper.
There's a little ladder along the side, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that ladder goes all the way down.
Wow.
Most of those steps are pretty darn good. I'm going to be replacing. We've got the measurements. One of my projects long term is going to be just going down that ladder again with a big backpack full of new steps. And every time I get a bad one, pry bar it out, right, it'll be a new one in. All the way down. That's a 100-year-old plus ladder. It's pretty darn solid. So, and originally the cars would have come up here, gone up here, and
Wow.
dumped to a small rock breaker back on the other side. I'll show you where in a second, and shipped out towards the main shaft because this doesn't go out.
There are rails up here too.
Yeah. Got some rail. There's a little rail down there, but most of that was taken out. That being a heavy gauge, I think the company.
So they used to run a ore cart all the way down
Skip
there.
would have gone up and down this, and going down off, especially off on the left. There's a lot of stoping off on the side. It's pretty cavernous, big open area. Pretty much runs parallel to this shaft all the way down.
I keep shining the light so I can get the ladder.
I've been down there. I've been into some of that area back there. There's a lot of collapse back in there. I just think they took too much rock, I think. and eventually one level collapsed into another. But you can see where there's some old square sitting there that's been crushed and buried. I mean, they wanted to get the mineral out. I think they got most of it. And
Did you get the ladder there?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
over on this table we have an old newspaper. I can't find a date on it. Nobody can, but.
Not even Wonder Hussy?
No.
Professor Shaw. His attire is impressive. White men. Aesthetics.
Mrs. John R. Drexel, who sustained objections to various other suitors, caused, her friends say, her daughter to elope when the right man came along.
And it's not on one of the, like that corner or this corner on the other side?
No such luck.
But we're looking at fashions of the 19
Yeah, that's
teens
what-
here, and
It's the fashion page.
yeah, so
Ladies' room. Where did you see the date?
Right below it there.
Wednesday, October
Oh, okay.
20-something,
28.
1941.
Yeah.
28 or 29, something
We
like that.
weren't quite to war yet, but
1940
by that, let's say
something.
one.
One. Okay.
But everybody knew the war was coming, so
And this way is out.
that way is through the machinery space. This way is out. That way is not good anything with, but if we come through the machinery space here, you can still see some of the old wiring here that was used, the cable, running those skips up and down. And that cable was made by the John Roebling Company. That also made the first wire cable that made the Brooklyn Bridge and the Golden Gate Bridge possible. A lot of beautiful woodwork. I want to use this room back here for something. Maybe a small mini museum.
Nice.
I just got to get it all secured.
Would be neat, and then a museum back there.
I think so. I just got to make sure it's secured first. Artifacts tend to disappear.
Take your time. Take your time. Nah, not spots.
Dots?
Dots, dots, and more dots.
Yep.
Now, if this was a working mine, or even a properly run tour mine, the rock over the years does finally develop, fractures and cracks like this. And
You pry that loose.
yeah, you get in here, you bar that down. In an actual mine, they'd pry this crap right down, but that's several hundred pounds of rock.
Sure.
Barring is probably one of the most dangerous activities done in these old mines. I am choosing not to do it because I'm not doing anything that sets up the vibrations, no blasting, no cars running, nothing like that. Like I said, I'm usually here by myself. I don't want to bring all that rock down on myself. Let's let that clean.
Sure.
So just stuff like this you got to be aware of. If I want to get theatrical in other spots, I know some spots in the walls where I can reach out and kind of randomly hit the wall to make my point, and a bunch of rock falls down. It looks really cool, but yeah, these mines are safe to be in, but it's relative. I mean, they weren't extremely safe places back when they were working them. And it's been 70 years since they've been worked, so nature's doing its co-op.
They've had several earthquakes not too far from here.
Yeah, so, and you can see areas where rocks have come down from above, and I wonder how much of that is related to the actual quakes bringing them down. I suspect probably a good bit of it. Now, looking out this way, turning my light up, what do we see? What do we have down there?
Light. I see it. That's the end.
we have light. The proverbial light at the end of the tunnel. No, I don't want to go without lights because I know where I'm going. It's okay if I whack my head.
I was trying to
I'm insured.
get a picture of the light at the end of the tunnel.
I mean, it's a beautiful shot from here if you want to.
Safe at all, I wouldn't have you on it. That one board I'm gonna shim off.
Here we come out.
No more pictures.
Oh, no. Welcome.
Oh,
Now we're on the back side of the Noonday.
Wow, we went all the way through there.
We did. You can't even see this from the road down here.
No,
This is the trestle
you
that
can
comes
see
across.
that though, can't you?
That's the Grant mine over there.
Yeah.
Those Grant shafts drop down about 400 feet, and at the bottom of their working levels, they hit another shaft that goes down into the War Eagle itself. I've climbed up those. I'm going to be opening that up for a tour for a little more adventurous folks down the road. First, I got to gate that far shaft off, and then go down there and remove a big rock that's, you know, fallen and blocking out of it, and reconstruct the ladder probably the last 60 feet, and then you can climb up from the War Eagle straight up to it. It's not a bad climb. The air is good in there, and for the adventuresome types, they'll love it. Just getting around the end of that rock that's fallen now. I think if I'd have been 6 ounces heavier, I never would have got through it. Down below over here, don't rush it. There's another little shaft that goes here, and it connects up with that one down there. And back in here, there's a huge cavernous room back in there. It's so big that a large rock the size of a trailer has fallen from the ceiling, and it's still like the stadium in there.
Wow.
Somehow I want to get people in there and open that. And I believe off the back of that is another connection back into the
So how do you get in there?
You can go through that down there, or you can
Right,
drop down
this little hole right here?
Yep, or this collapsed shaft down here. But either one of those is very tight, very claustrophobic, very windy little rabbit warren tunnels, which if you climb up a little bit, you will find rail track and ore chutes leading up further. The problem you got now with these old workings is if you're going to go in there and extract any ore, you got to bring these things up to modern MyOSHA standards. Good luck. Yeah,
That'd be expensive.
Yeah. I mean, I bought it for the history, for the preservation, just as my retirement property, just to do what I'm doing right now, you know. Enjoy it, maybe share it with some folks, and try to rehab it as best I can.
What do you do down in Louisiana?
As little as possible. I'm a federal employee.
you answered a lot with that statement. I won't say anymore.
Okay.
To keep out of the politics.
So why is this your favorite spot?
You feel like you're away from everything here, but yet you have interesting stuff all around you to see and look at and think
Explore, yeah.
about. You know, it's neat. I like it in the mine, but this spot, it's worth going through the mine to get to this spot.
That's why I like to bring people back here. All the ore brought up from that shaft back there, and all the ore come across from the Grant mine. So it comes back down this tunnel. That's where I showed you that ladder that goes down.
Yeah.
There's always something new to see at this joint. I love this place for that. The trick is removing crap like this while leaving that stuff behind. So we'll get it. Tried to run a razor along there.
Oh, I think I know where we're going.
Yeah, up here.
The hole there?
No, we're just going
Right up there, right up there.
up to that shaft.
It keeps going way up there. And this goes in at an angle.
Yep. At least one level below where we were, probably more.
Have you been in this way?
Yeah.
Did we come near this?
Yeah, it's one of those boards where she don't like to step on.
Oh, okay.
Right there.
Right there.
I will
And-
get up and look in a minute.
Down where that debris is there's a chute down off the side, a little ladder that drops you into another of the old workings that goes off that way. Oh, it goes both ways. That's where I have to go back in again and look for that bucket.
So we've gone right straight down here.
Yeah.
So they did no processing. They didn't have stamp meal like they do for,
Nah, not here. Send it out.
yeah.
Walk with me. Let's leave the past behind. Walk with me. There's something else we need to find. Say you'll go, don't make me wait. There's no need to hesitate. Let's make footprints